Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here from the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. It is not the oval, though. We are not on the high banks here for the most part of this evening's race. We are on the road course for a wild evening of racing action, as these drivers get loaded into the sim, each and every single one of them looking for the win here on the night, as drivers getting their laps in here. A little bit of qualifying underway as drivers jumping out onto the speedway. They are making sure that their cars are absolutely set up perfectly here on the evening. As James Copenhagen says, if everyone could pray for Nathan Brookover, as he went through a difficult week with his family and won't be able to make it tonight, praying for a speedy recovery for his girlfriend. Yeah, 100%. Shout out Nathan Brookover, his entire friends, family, everyone that's around that situation, brother. We are praying for you and hoping for a speedy recovery for your girlfriend and everything else, man. Hearts go out to you, brother. Hearts go out to you. God above is looking over you and hoping for nothing but a fast, speedy, and easy recovery for your girlfriend is. Man, this is going to be one amazing race, chat, that we're getting ready for here. We got a lot of drivers sporting some pretty nice paint schemes, some different paint schemes out there on the speedway as well. We do see the rubbered up number 69 ride of Lonnie Crider out there on the speedway. Melvin Brangruer out there as well, sporting that Scott Bloomquist inspired number 84 ride. A beautiful looking paint scheme there for the number 84. Dylan Carrier out there in his Gamer Subs NJBDesigns.com number 88 ride out there on the speedway. Ben Gleason out there as well. The No Luck Motorsports ride, looking for a turn of events, as Matthew Wood says, praying for them, absolutely praying for Nathan and his girlfriend and the entire family, man. That hopefully it's nice and easy, brother, on you. Hopefully it goes smoothly. Hopefully quick recovery, as 100% praying for you and hoping for the best. As we do see Benjamin Romano out there on the speedway as well. The DuPont 24 ride, looking fresh and furious here at Daytona International Speedways. The road course going to make for some interesting racing here, as Noah Blackwell out onto the racetrack as well. Still waiting for a few more drivers, as we do see the Scott Bloomquist number 5 ride, the No Weak Links number 5 machine. That's another beautiful Bloomquist paint scheme out there on the speedways. We lost a true legend yesterday, as unfortunately, I'm sure as a lot of people have heard, we lost Scott Bloomquist earlier yesterday morning, and a heartbreaking one, as Bloomquist was such a pillar in motorsports, not only just dirt track racing and late model racing, but for all motorsports around the world, man. Such an advocate, such a likable driver. There's a lot of people that didn't like him, a lot of people that did like him, but no matter what, everyone is feeling the pain of losing a true legend and a guy of his stature here in the last couple days, man. Have been tough for a lot of people, and our hearts and prayers go out to the Bloomquist family as well, as losing a true legend is definitely a tough one. I would say it's right up there with losing Dale Earnhardt, right up there with losing Davey Allison, and losing Alan Kowicki, and so many other amazing drivers that we've lost over the years here in motorsports. It's definitely a tough one. Definitely a tough one for a lot of people, especially if they grew up around the dirt track, as we do see the Me Machine, the I Want to Go Fast ride. This is the Ricky Bobby inspired machine of Grant Applegate out there onto the racetrack as well. He's going to get his couple laps in, as we're going to get a quick word in here from our commander on the evening here, as we'll get ready to pull Lonnie Crider up here for the opening command on the evening. So shout out Lonnie Crider coming in and again giving us a beautiful command here on the evening.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Crider, your Grand Marshal for tonight's race. It's a sad day in the race world, as we lost a real good driver, Scott Bloomquist. He's well known in all racetracks, NASCAR, especially in dirt tracks. Our prayers go out to the family. Gentlemen, have a great race. Good luck tonight. Start those engines and let's go racing.
All right. Alrighty, beautiful command right there from Mr. Lonnie Crider. Shout out to Lonnie Crider coming in and giving us those commands, always giving us a great way to start these races. As Natalie Underwood says, let's go number 69, cheered on that 69 ride out there on the speedway, as we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose here in just a few more moments. Qualifying is coming to a close, so that means we will get ready to jump into the action. As Mr. Wood says, gone but never forgotten. 100% gone but never forgotten. Mr. Bloomquist out there, as we're also going to bring in Landon Burbridge here. He's the driver of the number 2 Chevrolet out there on the speedway. We're going to pull him in for our opening anthem here. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please stand up, remove your hats, and get ready for our national anthem. Alrighty, huge shout out there to Landon Burbridge coming in, giving us the command right there with the beautiful anthem here to start the evening, as we will get ready to set these drivers loose. Our starting grid here is drivers down pit side. They're going to get ready to rock and roll as they wait behind the official iRacing pace car, getting ready for 45 laps of racing action here this evening. 45 laps of racing fun is about to get underway as... Wait, what in the world's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on with the monitor? Chat, what in the world? What is happening? What in the world?
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Yo, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a way to kick things off as drivers starting to roll out onto the speedway. We'll get ready to go through our starting grid. And starting on the pole in the Racers for Christ, number 16 ride, that is Matthew Wood to his outside in the NJBDesigns.com ride. That is the 54 Thomas Hobart. Starting in position at number 3 in the HendrickCars.com ride, that is Landon Burbridge. And down into his outside is the 25, the Firefox ride of William Conley. Starting in position number 5 is the 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo. And then to his outside, the No Luck Motorsports 66, it's Ben Gleason. Then we see Jordan Hand in the Optic Gaming number 1 ride there in 7th days. Outside the AdminBoxx 29 of Chris Stange. Starting in position number 9 is actually our 5th row is a pair of beautiful rides here. A pair of Scott Bloomquist rides, the 84 of Melvin Brangruer and the 5 ride of Josh Crider, all right there is Grant Applegate right there with them, as we're going to end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as they head down into quarter number 1. Matthew Wood getting a great launch, leading the way down into quarter number 1 through quarter 2 and 3 here at Daytona International Speedway, the road course here, the home of the premium stock car racing league here on the evening. As Matthew Wood leads us down and out at quarter number 4 here, he's going to go down the straightaways. Landon Burbridge there into second, Caden Gargiulo there in third, as we do see one driver off of the racetrack there. Looks like Noah Blackwell running into some issues here, already some damage on this number 9 ride. So we'll have to take a look back and see what happened here to Noah Blackwell. Looks like he's going to lose it just ever so slightly, gets up onto the rumble strip, so it looks like he gets hard into Josh Crider. So Crider in the Bloomquist number 5 ride. running into issues here. Him and Noah Blackwell, heavy contact on our opening lap here, and unfortunately for both drivers, they are hurting out there on the speedway. As rounding out our top bit of the field here, we do see Jordan Crider now up into 10th, Dylan Carrier there in 11th, Benjamin Romano, Noah Blackwell, Aiden Lucas there in 14th, Brian Underwood in the 15th position with Farrell Robbins, Trenton Johns there in the 17th spot. Melvin Brengruer there in position number 18 with Evan Stewart in the 37 ride there in the 19th spot. Jaden Porter back in position number 74 with Paul LaCourte, Jonathan Gaston, Ryan Haller, Chris Getz, Josh Crider bringing up the rear of the field. Is unfortunately for Josh Crider looking to have a great day here at the speedway and running into issues on that opening lap. Heavy damage already for that 5 ride. Heavy damage as well for the number 9 Noah Blackwell. Blackwell's going to stay out on the speedway though. Even with the missing front nose cone, he's going to keep on rolling. I'm not sure if he has any wheel damage or anything else, but deciding to not take that car down pit side as of yet, trying to get that thing repaired. He's going to keep on rolling. Hopefully nothing catastrophic there on the evening. It's my boy Craig Michael Deacon coming in with a like on the stream over there on the Facebook channel. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. As Matthew Wood out in front leading the way here, he's got about a 1.8 second advantage between himself and Landon Burbage. As Burbage there in position number 2 as Caden Gargiulo right there behind him. Thomas Hovar, William Conley rounding out our top 5 here on the speedway. Ben Gleason in the 6th spot in the 66 ride. It's all 666 here for Ben Gleason in the No Luck Motorsports ride as he rolls there in that 6th spot, just outside the top 5 here on the speedway, as Grant Applegate rolls up into 7th here on the move towards the front of the field. As normally we see Ricky Bobby do really good at the super speedways, he's looking to do really good here at the road course here at Daytona as well. So we'll have to wait and see if that Ricky Bobby inspired paint scheme can find its way back into victory lane. Chris Danger right there behind him is Jordan Hand back in 9th. Jordan Crider rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway as the Rubbered Up Racing number 69 ride there in the 10th position. Aiden Lucas looking for a good run here. Same with the 24 of Benjamin Romano, as it is a very foggy, very treacherous day here at the speedway. The fogginess is absolutely wild, and when we go and look at some different angles, it really makes it tough to see these cars out there on the speedways. We do see the 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo headed down pit side, so pit strategy already underway here as the 7 machine heads down pit road. We also see the 9 Noah Blackwell head down pit road as well, so Blackwell gonna get that car repaired and roll back out onto the speedway for that 9 machine. As man, we're seeing some craziness already here at Daytona International Speedway. This road course is going to be very treacherous, and especially when you see how foggy it is, and it's going to put a lot of dampness in the air, really make things a lot slicker for these drivers. And as the tires continue to fall off, it's going to get tougher and tougher to not only make these left and right hand turns, but it's going to be very, very tough to get down into these braking zones without skidding those tires and burning them up even more, and trying to hang on to them and not put the throttle down too much where you're spinning coming out of the corners. We're going to see possibly a lot of issues with that throughout the evening as the 57 rider Applegate heads down through what is the speedway corner 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway here at Daytona International Speedway. He will hit the bus stop here in corner, well, I don't even know what corner this is, 12, 13, something like that, with a bus stop down the back straightaway here, able to hit it perfectly, get a great run right there. As we do see one driver turn around, that is Ben Gleason. Gleason, unfortunately, around here. Let's see if we can play this back and see what may have happened to the 66 as he was just outside the top 5. This is going to shuffle him outside the top 10 now. It's just on the throttle. We talked about the slickness out there with a little bit of moisture, with the fogginess in the air, and fortunately right there, back onto the throttle, just rolls into it a little too quick, and unfortunately that car just snaps around. No heavy damage, but a little bit of contact with the outside fence there for the 66 ride as he's now falling back to the 16th 19th position on the speedway. So a tough break right there as the No Luck Motorsports ride continuing with the no luck here in this season. He's had some very, very tough luck here. A lot of drivers have unfortunately had some tough runs already here in the season, but hopefully things will turn around for them on the later half of it, as we're still early in, only a few races into the season. I do believe this is race number 5 that we've broadcasted, but race number 4 for points for these drivers after our initial, Budweiser shootout here at Daytona about 4 or 5 weeks ago. These drivers are already working, though, on trying to earn all these extra points, all the playoff points that they can get, and all the bonus points for, being at the front of the field, leading laps, in trying to pick up stage points here, as well as we will have 2 stage breaks on the evening. So that means competition cautions basically for all these drivers. That means we will stack them up, rack them up, make everybody back tighter together. They won't be able to really, do anything until we go back to green flag racing, but we can see drivers make up ground and do different pitch strategies down pit road. But it's going to really make that the pitch strategy very, very interesting here on the evening, as we'll double check, make sure we get our stage breaks correct here, as I do believe stage breaks are at lap 14 and lap 28 on the evening. So we will see a mandatory caution flag at lap number 14 when the first stage ends, and another one at lap 28 when stage number 2 comes to a close. And right now that 16 ride trying to pick up stage win number 1, as he's out in front and continuing to try to pull away. Matthew Wood here at the front of the field with a 3.3 second lead between himself and Thomas Hovarth. So Horvath up into position number 2 here on the racetrack is William Connolly there in 3rd. Landon Burbage back into position number 4 here on the speedways. He slid back a couple spots as he was up in 2nd, now back into the 4th spot here. So the HendrickCars.com number 2 ride, beautiful paint scheme here for the Crunch Machine, the Big Crunch chocolate bars ride out there on the speedway, looking very, very fresh as Stange into the top 5 now. Jordan Hand there in 6th. Grant Applegate still rolling in 7th, as we do see the 77 of Aiden Lucas, the newcomers, up inside the top 10 now on the speedway. He's already up 11 positions from where he started. So Aiden Lucas started back in the 19th spot. He's now up into 8th. Right there behind him we see the 6th ride. That is the Gaston's iRacing Paints Premium Stock Car Racing League number 6 of Brian Underwood, who's up 9 spots, sitting there in 9th. So good run early in this one as well for Mr. Underwood, as Jordan Crider right there behind him. Melvin Brentgruer there in position number 11. Dylan Carrier back there in 12th. Ben Gleason now into the 13th spot as he's trying to work himself back up towards the top 5. He's got Evan Stewart and Paul LaCourte right there behind him. As we talked about the fogginess here at the Speedway, if we took a look here, let's see if we can find a look from maybe the blimp. Take a look from the blimp here. We can't even see these cars out there on the racetrack. The blimp, non-existent. They need to park this thing, because this blimp is probably going to be more of an aviation problem than what it is going to be here to help us out with camera shots on the day. You can't even see these cars out there on the racetrack, and you can see it's totally different. 200, 300 feet up in the air compared to down here on the racing surfaces. It's pretty clean and green here for these drivers out there on the speedway. They can see their corners in front of them. They can see that few hundred feet without any issues or any fogginess. So it's going to be pretty interesting here. As where's my Beyond Detailing car at? Beyond Detailing car. What number, brother? What number? There's so many out there. There's so many out there right now. There's so many different cars that it's so hard to know which one is which and which one has all those sponsors. We do see Farrell Robbins out there in the Band of Brothers number 4 ride. It's actually a different number though he's sporting here this evening. Let's take a look at what he's sporting on the car here. He's got the 76 ride there for Farrell Robbins. Jonathan Gaston there as well. The 77 ride of Aiden Lucas. Yeah, Aiden's looking very good out there. The Beyond Detailing 77 ride. He's looking very, very fast. Up into 8th now. We were just talking about him. He's up 11 spots from where he started. So start a little bit deeper. Back in about the, back in about the 19th position for the 77 ride, and you can see him working here, already making some passes down through the bus stop around the Ricky Bobby inspired ride, as he's now into 7th here for the 77 ride. Jordan Hand right there in front of him, so more positions for him to possibly pick up, and then a little bit of a gap up into the 29 ride here, Chris Stange. So he's going to have his work cut out for him, about 9 seconds between Aiden and Lucas right now, as he's going to be trying to go to battle, work himself around Jordan Hand, but then to catch that top 5, he's going to have to lay down a lot of wicked fast lap times. But right now, he is very, very fast out there on the speedway, but I do believe our quickest car last time by on the start-finish line was the number 25 rider, William Conley, up in 3rd here. The Firefox 25 machine there in 3rd. He's been running some pretty good consecutive laps here, even quicker than our race leader, Matthew Wood, as the Racers for Christ 16 ride continues to lead the way here. His lead, though, is evaporating. It was up to about 3.5 seconds, now only about just under 3 seconds between himself and Thomas Hovarth. Now the big question is the 16 ride saving? Did he push too early, try to build that lead up, and now the tires are starting to fall off and he's starting to slide backwards? Or is, Thomas Hovarth just finding another gear, or is Matthew Wood maybe just playing with him here a little bit? Is Wood just rolling out there on the speedway, doing a great job, as we're going to look at him heading down into the bus stops here. Love how they have the little arrow there pointing left as well, just to remind the drivers that there's a bus stop and they gotta go left there down the back straightaway. I kind of like that. That's pretty neat. I do like that. I do appreciate that from NASCAR and iRacing, having that in there. As we'll get a good look here at Mr. Wood out there on the racetrack as he's rolling through the high banks in corner 3 and out of corner number 4. He'll head down the front straightaway as we'll ride on board here with our race leader for a lap, as Matthew Wood at the front of the field, just kind of cruising out there on the speedway. But you got to go down through the gears here, heavy on the brakes into corner number 1. You're going to make this corner perfectly here, because it's going to set you up for a good corner number 2 and 3, a little bit through these S's right there. He's hitting his marks perfectly, and then he's going to angle out, get a big arc down into corner number 4 here. Gonna hug that yellow line, look for a good drive off, keep those tires underneath of him, keep himself from going into the grass too much, as he'll head down this little straightaway chute into this corner number 5 here, as he'll skip through there quickly and down into the 6th corner on the speedway. So this is a big, long, arcing corner. It's kind of built into almost 2 corners, but it's just a very tight entry, wide open exit there through corner number 6, and that'll take you into 7 here, which is a very, very tight one, where you kind of go from the infield to the outfield here. And now there's a big conversion right here where you're going from no banking to the high banking here, so you got to be careful there as well to not spin the tire, spin yourself out. You got to hit your marks, make sure you don't do anything bad right there through corner number 7. And now he's going to go through corner number 8 here on the high banks. That'll take him down into the bus stop for corner number 9 and 10 on the speedway, I do believe, as I'm not sure how many they count this as, but down through the bus stop, and then you'll head it back into corner number 3 here on the Daytona International Speedway, the oval track here, and you'll take this right around. Now, they used to have, I'm thinking maybe not here. I thought maybe Daytona had a little bit of a bus stop here as well, but I'm thinking Charlotte had something here on the front straightaway. So nothing on the front straightaway here at Daytona. You're just hammered down right on through across the start-finish line and back down into corner number 1 here. So huge shout out there to Mr. Wood, giving us a good look at what he's doing behind the wheel there in the man cave, in the gaming room up above us here. Get a good live look at what he's doing, how he's focused here, making sure he hits his marks. You can see him moving the wheel, moving and trying to make sure he puts himself into the best position out there on the speedways. We also have another really cool angle to show you guys is out there on the speedway. See if we can find that beautiful number 5 ride of Josh Crider out there on the racetrack. Ran into issues on lap number 1 as the Scott Bloomquist inspired number 5 ride, a tribute paint scheme there from Josh Crider. Crider's got a very cool angle for us to take a look at here. This will really give you a good perspective at what these drivers are doing out there on the speedway, as we got a little foot cam here. You're going to see some foot cam magic from Mr. Crider up here in above us, as you're going to be able to see his feet. You see him hitting the brakes, hitting the clutch, trying to gear up, gear down, and the throttle and everything else here. So you're going to see some really cool footwork here from this 5 ride out there on the speedway as he rolls down into corner number 1. He's heavy onto the brakes, making sure he switches gears where he's letting off that throttle, letting that car kind of backfire, have the RPMs drop down, and then roll back into the throttle here. So just kind of hitting his marks out there on the speedway, and you can see how these drivers are working. This is a beautiful, beautiful cam right here, man. The foot cam is always a favorite, just to really see what these drivers are doing out there on the racetrack and how they're navigating it, not only with their hands, trying to steer these cars around the track as, man, he's got a wild paint scheme for his helmet in there too. He's got like a SpongeBob helmet that's like, it's the, if you can't see it, then I don't know what to tell you, but that thing is absolutely bright. It's the only thing you can see inside the cockpit coming at you. That would be honestly scary. If I'm a driver and I'm staring in that rear view mirror and I see that thing flying at me, bro, I'm just gonna move out of the way. I'll let him have the spot. I am not putting myself in position to have to stare at that for that long, as that is a little bit creepy. I'm not gonna lie, Chad. That's a bit wild. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in, please make sure you guys do us the favor. Hit the like button on the broadcast. Hit the share. Hit that follow if you're watching over on Facebook or Twitch. And if you're watching over on YouTube, help us hit our goal of 1,000 subscribers here this evening. Become part of the Peacemaker family. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today over on the YouTube channel. Help us hit that goal of 1,000 subscribers over there. Get a great look here around the speedway as well with Josh Crider, with that foot cam, really giving us the show here in the full absolute motion that these drivers are going through lap after lap after lap, not only with their hands but with their feet here. Let's see if we can get an angle here at this 5 ride and give you guys a better look at this absolutely horrendous helmet on this car. Let me see if we can get another look at this one. This one may take a little bit more work here. Let me see if we can get in here and look at this thing. You can SpongeBob rolling at you like this. That is absolutely scary as heck. Okay, that is not a fun thing to look at. I'm not gonna lie. Look at this thing. Look at him. Oh my gosh. That's the creepiest thing I think I've ever seen in a race car, bro. That thing is absolutely wild staring at you. Oh, man. Woo! Josh Crider giving us a scare out there, but giving us a great look there with the foot cam, is out in front, continuing to lead the way here with only 11 laps into this race. 10 laps down here. We're on lap number 11. We still got a lot of racing left to go here in this one for these drivers, as a lot of laps, a lot of time for drivers to kind of navigate through the traffic around the speedway here and try to put themselves into a good position, as we are going to get our first stage break here in just a few more laps. So lap 14 will be the end of stage number 1. We will have a full course caution flag. All these drivers will get stacked back up, so any leads or disadvantages drivers have right now between themselves and other cars out there on the speedway, we will see that evaporate. We'll see some strategy become played here as well. We already see the 1 ride, Jordan Hand, down pit side. He's rolling back out onto the racetrack. We see the 88 ride also down pit side. That's Dylan Carrier. So drivers starting to make some pit stops here on the speedway. And that's where things get really, really interesting here, is if our race leader doesn't come down pit side, other drivers may elect to stay out as well, but they want those stage points. They're going to stay out and not pit. But if they don't want those stage points, they're probably going to want to come down pit side, as you're going to go from the front of the field to the back of the pack here, as all these other drivers that are already making green flag pit stops before the end of the stage, they'll be leapfrogging you going to the front of the field, and that's going to put you in the middle of a hornet's nest. So Matthew Wood, William Connolly, a lot of these drivers may have to make that last-minute decision to try to head down pit road here in our closing laps of stage number 1, and it looks like we are going to see the 25 ride head down pit side. We'll see Thomas Hovarth down pit side as well in the Monster Energy 54 ride. So a few of our front runners headed down pit road here, going to get some pit stops in themselves. So this is the strategy calls that we were talking about. Now, who else decides to come down pit road, as we do see the 6 ride of Brian Underwood. He's finally catching up to the front straightaway. He's going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit side. Melvin Brengruer and one of our other Scott Bloomquist inspired paint schemes out there on the speedway. Get a great look there at the Thrustmaster 84 in that Scott Bloomquist inspired ride out there on the racetrack, looking absolutely mint, absolutely fresh out there. As once again we lost Scott Bloomquist yesterday in a tragic loss for the racing community, losing such a pillar, such a driving force here in motorsports, such a friendly face at every racetrack he went to, always there to help a hand to all the fellow drivers and competitors, and hang out with friends and racing enthusiasts alike, and having conversations with them over the last 24 hours, the last almost 48 hours now. We've seen nothing but love and everything for Scott Bloomquist, and so many great stories and memories that people have shared, that I've seen and came across on, whether it was growing up and idolizing him, having him as a hero in the dirt track world, or even just in motorsports itself. And having him pass away is a big hole here for the entire racing family, whether it's dirt, asphalt, or any type of racing alike. Motorsports out there hurting without Scott Bloomquist. So rest in peace, Bloomquist, and my condolences and everything to his friends, family, fans alike. And we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss Scott Bloomquist out there, and we're gonna miss him at the racetracks all across the U.S. Is out in front, Matthew Wood still continuing to lead the way here as the laps are clicking down here. Lap 13 up onto the board, so a couple more laps to go here before the end of stage number 1. Looks like Wood may be electing to stay out here. He may want the extra stage points. Not only will he get the stage points to help him in the regular season championship, but it's also going to give him some extra playoff points here as well. I do believe 1 extra playoff point for picking up that stage win. And now this is where we talk about trying to stack those pennies. We've seen Wood pick up a win already. He's locked into the playoffs, so what he needs to do now is kind of stack those pennies. He could probably win this race. He might still be able to do it without the pit strategy that a lot of these other drivers are using. It may just make his day a lot tougher here at Daytona, but he can still definitely work himself through traffic and towards the front of the field, so it's going to be interesting to see if he does that or not. But to be there at the end, have a car here for the end of this race, but being able to pick up all these stage points and all those bonus points towards the playoffs kind of stacks those pennies. Every single playoff point you can get could be the difference maker between being eliminated early in our playoffs or making it through by just a little bit round after round, and being able to advance into our championship race at the end of the season. So Wood just probably going to try to get himself here a extra playoff point here as Landon Burbridge there in position number 2, as Burbridge there in that second spot here in the Crunch HendrickCars.com number 2 ride. There in second, Melvin Brangeruer back in third with Grant Applegate, Thomas Hovarth, our top 5. William Conley back there in 6th. Chris Stange there in 7th with Noah Blackwell, Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood, our top 10 out there on the speedway. Paul LaCour in 11th with Jonathan Gaston there in 12th. Ryan Haller in the 13th position as Dylan Carrier there in the 14th spot. Ben Gleason there in 15th. Caden Gargiulo there in the 16th spot with Jordan Crider, Aiden Lucas, Farrell Robbins, and Josh Crider rounding out our top 20 here on the speedway. Benjamin Romano back in 21st with Jaden Porter, Trenton Johns, Chris Getz, Evan Stewart rounding out our field here, our top 25 out there on the speedways. Wood down and across the line here. He will click up lap number 14 on the speedway. No caution flag as of yet, but we did see Noah Blackwell go off the speedway here in the 9 ride. Let's see if we can take a look at this, as Noah Blackwell, we already saw have issues early, and there's gets in there a little too deep for Mr. Blackwell. Let's take another look at this one as he just kind of gets in there trying to work to the inside of the 29 ride of Stange, and unfortunately just gets in there too deep. Blocks those tires up, spins that car sideways. Luckily enough, no damage, no contact with the outer wall there, and the safe tire barriers there, and he's able to keep on rolling. We also saw some issues here for Trenton Johns as well. It looks like Trenton Johns ran into some issues in the 28 ride. We'll take a look at him. Almost the exact same place. It was up and off the racetrack. He's going to get a little bit of the tire barrier there, but not too much. Unfortunately, he does take that car off the speedway, but we do see the 57. Looks like this corner is becoming a little bit chaotic. You got to wonder if there's maybe a little moisture, a little extra moisture out there for these drivers have to deal with. You see him burning off the edge there, loses a couple spots on the racetrack, but able to get it back in there and onto the racetrack here. So a good break for him there, but he does go off the speedway again here, right there. So struggling for the Ricky Bobby ride, but we also saw Jordan Crider, the 69 ride, the rubbered up machine, run into some issues here himself as he's going down across the start finish line, about to head down into corner number 1. Looks like he gets in there too hot, locks him up. Luckily enough, no tire barriers there like we do see at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the road course. At the Roval, luckily enough, no tires there, and he's able to keep himself out of heavy damage. This was the Roval that number 69 ride may be absolutely destroyed. Is out in front, Matthew Wood continuing to lead the way here. I do believe they are waiting for drivers to get across the start finish line. Our top 10 have now made it across the line here, so Matthew Wood gonna pick up stage win number 1 here on the evening. Thomas Hovarth in second, William Conley in third, Grant Applegate and Landon Burbridge, they're in position number 5 here on the speedway as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a little bit as these drivers are gonna get ready to go to battle. They're going to get ready to duke it out here. This is going to be a lot of fun as this is going to stack this field all back together. It's going to get all these drivers right there, nose to tail and door to door, and it's going to be like restarting this race all over again. And this time, though, I believe we're going to have to see this 16 ride possibly head down pit side. I don't think he's going to be able to make it a full another 14-lap stage here before he runs out of fuel. So he's going to have to come down pit road, and that's going to leapfrog a lot of drivers around him here. So let's see if we can get Hovarth up here into the broadcast booth here. Is Hovarth looking good out there on the speedway? Let's see if we can get him up here for a quick little in-race interview. The 54 ride, I do believe, has yet to come, or he came down pit side. With him coming down pit road, he should consume this race lead as our race leader will go down pit side. So we'll have a new race leader here at the speedway. Thomas Hovarth will be that driver. Let's see if he's in the Discord first here. Is in there. Okay, perfect. He is in there. Let me see if we can get him in here. Hey, Thomas, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Thomas, man, a bit of a strategy here for you. So I do believe you already came down pit side with a green flag pit stop. And knowing that the 16 rider Matthew Wood has yet to come down pit road, he's going to have to come down here during this caution flag. And that's going to give you control of this race here. What's going through your mind knowing that you got a big restart and an opportunity to kind of maybe open the door a little bit here and use this strategy to maybe put yourself up in victory lane?
Yeah. Might have the advantage right now, but I'm thinking so far ahead. I still don't know. I might come in myself for a bit of fuel. A lot of strategy going through the head, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but that boy's fast anyways.
Absolutely, he's definitely fast out there, and right now, you know, we've seen you work yourself up inside the top 5, had a very fast car all evening long. Do you think, you know, later in this race, maybe make a couple correct changes that you might be able to get this car right up there with them, or maybe slowly but surely kind of figure out the racetrack a little bit more and starting to find a little bit more speed as we've seen you lay down some very, very fast lap times out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I think I was saving a bit more than him a bit. He was falling back to me a little. And then I guess he maybe gathered up. He could have been sandbagging. I'm not sure. That's part of the fun, figuring it out and doing your best. Hopefully come away with a W.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing you hopefully back up here in the broadcast booth before the end of the evening. Good luck. Have fun out there, and good luck with crunching those numbers and trying to figure out the strategy here at the Daytona Road Course.
Yeah, thanks, lad. Got my calculator out.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of the race, and good luck out there.
Thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Thomas Hovarth as he jumps up into the booth here with us for a quick little in-race interview. A good run so far for that 54 ride as he rolls out there on the speedway, currently scored in that second spot. But you heard it there from him. He may still want to come down pit side and maybe just throw a splash of fuel into it. And with quite a few cars here, a few cars in front of him, he's going to have to try to get a big launch here. To get to the back bumper, he's going to have one car between them as they head down pit side. Thomas Wood down pit road, and that is going to bring a lot of our race leaders. So even though strategy's been played here, looks like only one car on the lead lap is going to stay out on the racetrack, and that's Caden Gargiulo. So Caden's going to stay out here. He's going to try to use this to his advantage. You'll see like Landon Burbage having some issues here. He's getting pushed down the corner here from the 77 to Aiden Lucas. I'm not sure if the 2 ride might be out of fuel on the racetrack here. Looks like the 2 may be out of fuel. This is an interesting sort of events here. This is a tough break for that 2 ride. You can see that the RPMs are very, very low. Fires back up for a quick second, then turns off again here as he's going to cruise down and roll down pit road. Definitely a tough break right there for Burbage as definitely not the way you want your stage to end here, and hopefully not the loss of too many positions out there on the speedway for that 2 ride, as he was very, very fast all evening long so far, up inside the top 5 here all evening, and this one may put him back in the Hornet's nest out there on the racetrack. As we'll get him ready to rock and roll, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. A few drivers did stay out, so we do see Caden Gargiulo still out there on the speedway. He is now our race leader. The 6 ride, Brian Underwood staying out as well. He will restart in position number 2 as Gargiulo, our second race leader here of the evening, as Thomas Hovarth back there in 3rd. He will restart in that 3rd spot with Chris Stange back there in 4th. Matthew Wood, who was our race leader and led every lap there in stage number 1. He will restart in the 5th position here, so he's going to have his work cut out here for a little bit, trying to figure out his way back to the front of the field. William Conley right there behind him. Ben Gleason's going to restart in 7th with the 69 of Jordan Crider and the 1 ride of Jordan Hand there in 8th and 9th, and Noah Blackwell will restart in the 10th position as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go green flag racing here in just a few more moments, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, give it up here for all these drivers. Put on a great show for us already here this evening. We still got a lot of laps of racing left to go, so don't go anywhere, but make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, and let us know up in the chat who you want to see pick up the victory here this evening, as we'll get a quick word in from our sponsors over at njbdesigns.com.
Revolutionize the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. At njbdesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designer has you covered. Imagine winning in a car that reflects your personality or promotes your business and style. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, and finishes to suit every taste and occasion. Why settle for ordinary when you can stand out from the crowd? Visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals bring your vision to life. Transform your car, transform your journey, and be a champion, and choose us.
Oh gosh, we're muted. My bad, ladies and gentlemen. We're muted. I was muted. I had to cough there during the commercial break, so I muted myself. We are back. Thank you for letting us know there, Kurt. Thank you for that. As we're gonna go back to green flag racing here. The green flag back out into the air for Caden Gargiulo and Brian Underwood as these drivers ready to rock and roll. We had a few more drivers go down pit side before that last lap around here, so they were able to get some extra fuel into their cars. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out for them on the strategy call. As out in front, Caden Gargiulo leads the way. He's going to head us down into corner number 4 here. The 6 right, though, with a great run down to the inside, and Brian Underwood is going to jump out in front as our new race leader here through the infield at Daytona Road Course here on the evening. 7 right, not giving up though, is going to send it in down low on the bottom side here of corner number 5, and they're going to go battling here as here comes the 16 machine, Matthew Wood, looking to work himself back to the front of the field. Wood was our race leader at the stage break, and here he is looking to kind of work himself back to the front of the field. He's trying to stay to the outside of the 6 right of Brian Underwood. Underwood, though, trying to pull away, trying to separate himself a little bit more from that 16. Will have inside advantage down here into the bus stop for the first bit of it, but the second bit is an advantage to the 16 ride, so we'll have to wait and see if these drivers can make it through cleanly. The backstretch right here, you see the 6 right blowing in there. The 16 does too. Oh, look out. The 16 misses the bus stop right there. That may be a penalty for Matthew Wood. We also saw the 6 ride go around right there. A tough break for Brian Underwood, who was up inside the top 5. And then to the 99, Ryan Haller turned around as well. Haller gets loose there out of the bus stop. He goes around, nowhere to go for Chris Stange, and Stange heavy contact into the side of the 99, and man, oh man, cautions creating chaos out here on the speedway as the Office Depot 99 right rolls through the bus stop. Avoids the 6 rider Brian Underwood, but then right there gets a little squirrely, trying to get back onto the throttle, has to lock it up, and as he does, 29 rider Chris Stange heads in and through there, and unfortunately heavy damage here for the 29 ride. He's looking this car right down pit side as we'll take a look on board with Chris Stange as he's down through the bus stop here on the back straightaway, hits his marks, and then all of a sudden can't even see him, and then 99 right there, and unfortunately he cleans them out and destroys both race cars there on the racetrack, and they are both hurt as the 99 Ryan Haller heads down pit side. Chris Stange already down pit side as well. As out in front, we do see a new race leader. It's Thomas Hovarth at the front of the field here. Hovarth taking the race lead is Noah Blackwell there in second. Matthew Wood back there in position number 3. But Hovarth, we talked to him there before the start of this restart here at the end of stage number 1. He definitely thought he had a pretty fast car. He hoped that some of the strategy that he was working with would help him to the front of the field. And here he is sitting nicely in that top spot as Blackwell and Wood right there trying to hang with them. Wood trying to work himself back to the front of the field as we'll take a look back at what happened here between Brian Underwood and Matthew Wood out there on the speedway as Brian just sends it in down low. They both just come in there with a whole head of steam, and unfortunately, one's going to miss the bus stop. He's going to get a penalty for that. You do see the 7 ride send it in there sideways as well. Man, I'm not sure if there was moisture down on the racetrack right there. Look at the 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo as he's going to head in there. Just cuts down the racetrack a little too soon. And unfortunately, it kind of looks like he drifts it in there. Unfortunately for the 6 ride, he does go for a drift. And he goes down through the grass here. And the car just kind of keeps on turning on him as the car hooked up, trying to get it stopped. He's got the brakes locked up, but unfortunately just couldn't get it to stop quick enough, and he's going to lose a ton of positions right there. Sends him deep in the field, and we also saw the 16 ride at the exact same time run into issues as well as he sent it in there on the outside a little too quick here and down through the grass and basically misses this entire bus stop right here. Luckily enough, able to miss all the tire barriers here, but I do believe that's going to hurt him here on the long run as that allows a couple of drivers to get by him, and I'm not sure if he's going to get a penalty for missing that bus stop or not, but they Tough break right there for three of our drivers at the front of the field. That time on the restart through the bus stop is now out in front. Noah Blackwell, our new race leader here on the Speedway. The 9 ride to the front of the field. Blackwell out in front, showing them how to get it done. Here in this one now is the NJB Designs ride to the front of the field. Matthew Wood now going to work himself around Thomas Hovarth. So Hovarth slides back now to third as Wood back up into second. William Conley there in position number 4 and looking for more. Landon Burbage there in that 5th position as the HendrickCars.com Crunch number 2 ride there in 5th. Caden Gargiulo back in 6th. Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing number 77 ride, the Beyond Detailing machine there in the 7th spot for the 77 is Ben Gleason in the No Luck Motorsports ride right there behind him in the 8th spot. Josh Crider back in 9th with Jordan Hand in the 10th spot here. It's good to see Josh Crider up inside the top 10 as the Hawkeye Trucking No Weak Links number 5 ride, the Scott Bloomquist inspired machine rolls out there on the racetrack here. He, unfortunately got into some early race incidences here, right out of corner number 3. Oh, man, he almost lost it again right there. Unfortunately, looks like he ran into some issues, lost it there out of the corner on the opening lap, and got T-boned by the number 9 rider, Noah Blackwell. Both drivers recovering well as Blackwell leads the way. Crider here now just inside the top 10 as Jordan Hand was able to work himself around him as Ryan Underwood, who we saw towards the front of the field here on the restart, the Gaston's iRacing Graphics Premium Stock Car Racing League number 6 ride back here in 11th, trying to work himself back inside the top 10 as the next level racing. Thrustmaster 84, another Scott Bloomquist ride. That is Melvin Brangruer rolling there in the 12th position as we get a good look here at Melvin out there on the speedway as well. Melvin jumping on board here with the webcam as well, giving us a good look inside the gaming room here for the 84 ride. You can really get a good look here at the determination, the focus that these drivers have with these webcams. You're going to get a good look here at what they're doing behind the wheel and rolling out there on the speedway. As you see those hands, 10 and 2. Someone taught him how to drive perfectly here. Kind of got those hands at 10 and 2, kind of rolling here and shifting. You see that hand move off the steering wheel into that gear shifter, up and down through the gears. Now the hand shifter, going to make things very difficult for these drivers, but very realistic as the way these Xfinity rides are built with that gear shifter right there to be able to slam these gears back and forth instead of the sequential shifter that we see in the NASCAR Cup Series now, where it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forward, or if you're going to go backwards, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 backwards kind of deal, where here you kind of got to move it around. You got to go in a pattern here instead of like the sequential shifter as well. So how is that not a penalty for Wood? Yeah, Kurt, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's going to be a penalty or not. I don't know when they would enforce it or not. I don't know if they will enforce it on the racetrack or in post-race review. I'm not sure exactly what the ruling is on it. I know in NASCAR terms, NASCAR they do those penalties, but I'm not sure about here in the series or anything else for road course stuff. I'm not sure exactly what the official calling would be, and I don't make those official calls. Luckily enough, I don't have to make those hard calls. Those are tough calls, tough job for the admin group to make those decisions and everything else. And unfortunately, if it was missed by them, then I'm sure they'll look at it post-race and everything else and hand out penalties afterwards or not. I'm not 100% sure on how they will score that or not. Can't give you a direct answer, okay? I can't give you a direct answer as of right now. But at the front of the field, we do see Noah Blackwell continuing to lead the way here. Blackwell at the front of the field. Thomas Hovarth right there in second as Matthew Wood continues the battle here with these top two drivers here as Hovarth and Blackwell giving him a run for his money here in stage number 2 as they have started to open up a little bit more of a advantage, about 2 seconds now between themselves and Landon Burbage. Burbage there there in that 2 ride, currently rolling in the 4th position, but he is tracking them down in a quick hurry. So isn't William Conley. Conley right there in that 5th spot, trying to hunt those drivers down in front of him, trying to work that 25 ride a little farther forward than the 5th position. Aiden Lucas now up into 6th here. He's right there trying to reel those top 5 in himself, trying to work himself inside the top 5 here for that beautiful number 77 ride out there on the speedway. Jordan Hand there in 7th with Ben Gleason back in 8th. Brian Underwood now into 9th with Josh Crider still rounding out our top 10. Benjamin Romano there in 11th with Melvin Brewer there in 12th. Dylan Carrier back in position number 13. Jordan Crider in the number 69 ride, the rubbered up number 69 machine back in 14th as Jonathan Gaston right there behind him. Gaston gonna go for a spin there through the corner, as unfortunately kind of just locked that car up. The rear tires unfortunately did not hold on, and the Old Dogs Racing 72 ride goes for a little bit of a ride there through the corner. Luckily enough, doesn't lose any positions, but loses a lot of track time and track position here to the 69 ride that he was battling there with, and now brings the 7 of Caden Gargiulo right there with him. The 99er Ryan Haller back there in 17th with Chris Stange there in 18th as the AdminBoxx Fueled Up Motorsports 29 ride rolls there in 18th. Grant Applegate back in 19th with Evan Stewart. Our top 20 here on the speedways. The AG's Designs Precision Lawn Care and Landscaping 37 ride rolls there in the top 20, right there in that 20th position as Farrell Robbins in the Band of Brothers number 76 ride rolls there in 21st. Paul LaCourte in the SHR number 41 ride rolling there in the 22nd position. The No Luck Motorsports number 87, we haven't heard too much from him here this evening. Obviously not a road course fan too much here for Chris Getz, as Getz back there in 23rd, as we have seen Jaden Porter take his ride down pit side. So a tough break here for the Sim Racing Center 74 ride, as he is on pit road right now just outside of the Daytona International Speedway victory lane. And unfortunately for Trenton Johns, also off the racetrack in the 28 ride, and he's taking his car down behind the wall. As out in front, Matthew Wood has been able to take this race lead back away. So Wood to the front of the field here is Thomas Hobart there in 2nd. Noah Blackwell in position number 3. Burbage there in 4th, and William Conley rounding out our top 5 here on the speedway, as we do see Ryan Haller run into some more issues. No, this was the initial wreck here. There we go. We're going to see Ryan Haller again off of the speedway here for the number 99 as the Office Depot ride. And oh man, this is a tough corner right here. Drivers are having their hands full. I believe that is corner number 5 on the infield, and we've seen a lot of drivers run into issues right there. We do see Melvin Brewer going down through the grass here on the bus stop on the back straightaway. He'll go off the speedway there himself, unfortunately missing a couple of those corners. We see the number 88 ride of Dylan Carrier as well in the Auto Value Gamer Subs number 88 ride. He's going to go off the banking here as well on corner number 5 here on the racetrack, and we'll go off the banking as well. So a lot of drivers having issues there through that corner, creating a little bit of chaos out there for drivers to try to make that corner, try to make that turn. We do see Ryan Haller again, unfortunately, going off the speedway here in the 99 ride. This was right in front of our race leaders, locks it up a little bit, strolls up, just gets those left side tires up into the grass. Luckily enough, able to hang on and not loop that car around, is right there headed towards him. Was the 9 ride of Noah Blackwell. Blackwell able to just narrowly avoid him there, as that 99 went all the way around. Oh, Blackwell could have ended up in a very tough situation in a quick hurry, as out in front, continuing to lead the way here at Daytona International Speedway, the road course race here for the Premium Stock Car Racing League. The 16 of Matthew Wood continues to lead the way. Is Wood out in front, showing him how to get it done, as only 20 laps left to go here. So 20 laps of racing action left on the evening, meaning 25 laps are in the books. We only got about 3 more laps left here in stage number 2. So stage number 2, slowly but surely coming to a close here for all of these drivers, as we'll go through some of our other drivers out here on the speedway, as we have a bunch of drivers that were gracious enough to have their webcams turned on for us. We did see Caden Gargiulo restart stage number 2 here at the front of the field, and unfortunately for Gargiulo here, he is a little deeper in the field right now as he rolls down the back straightaway. Going to head into the bus stop here. Let's see if we get a good look here at Caden out there on the racetrack, as Caden just kind of rolling out there, trying to hit his marks here, and you get a good look there as his hands kind of navigate through this bus stop and up through the gears and trying to get up to full speed here. But man, that car very, very loose coming out of the corner there. See it getting very, very squirrely. Had to catch it. Luckily enough, was able to keep that car underneath of him here and keep it rolling down through the corner number 3 and 4, but then gets up into the outside fence. So Gargiulo running into some issues here at the road course, as this car has gone evil on him, and he's having his hands full out there on the racetrack. Luckily enough, so far, able to keep it pointed in the right direction, but you can see I'm really having to put a lot of wheel into this thing and definitely being very loose on the throttle. I don't know if it's older tires or what may be, you know, the issue here for the 7 rider, if it's just the setup for him just not working out there on the racetrack. But we've seen him make a couple mistakes here, and that's brought him from restarting on the front row to all the way back here now into the 14th position. So he's just trying to hang on and hope for the best here as the Guardian 7 ride rolls out there on the speedway. We also have Landon Burbage also up here in the webcams as well, so huge shout out to Landon for having the webcam turned on for us, as we'll take a look here at that 2 ride out there on the speedway, as he's up inside the top 5, sitting pretty right now. Let's see if we can get a good look here at this number 2 machine out there on the racetrack, as Landon Burbage and the NJBDesigns.com, the We Paint Champions number 2 ride, up inside the top 5. You can get a good look at the webcam of Landon out there on the speedway. Kind of settled in, sitting back, kind of just, you know, making sure he hits his marks. But you can see how focused he is. He's looking up there. He's looking through some of the, you know, different things he has to work with here, all the different track maps and the relative and everything else, to see if he's either giving up time or finding time out there on the speedway to try to help himself towards the front of the field here, as he sees that he's got a pretty good golden opportunity to maybe trying to pick up a checkered flag here on the evening. Got that 25 rider Will Connolly right there in front of him, as it's a great look, a great drive here for that 2 ride as he continues to roll out there on the speedway. And once again, we got excuse me about that, sorry about that chat, little yawn right there. We also have the foot cams here for the 5 ride out there on the racetrack as well. This is another very, very great angle here. Josh Crider coming in, giving us the foot cam work here. We looked at this earlier in the evening. We'll take a look at it again as Josh Crider in this Scott Bloomquist number 5 machine rolls out there on the speedway. A very beautiful looking throwback paint scheme here, and you know, a very good respectful paint scheme here in memory of Scott Bloomquist, and the no weak links Hawkeye Trucking number 5 ride rolling out there on the speedway, and you get a great look at the footwork that he's putting in around this road course here on the evening, giving us a great look at how these drivers navigate through some of the traffic, through some of these corners, how they keep their cars pointed in the right direction. You get a great look at throttle input, brake input here as he heads down into the bus stop here, trying to work to the back bumper of the 6th ride of Mr. Brian Underwood. Is Underwood right there in front of him? We'll jump even right on board here with Crider. Unfortunately, not getting a great run out of the bus stop in the 6th ride, able to open up quite a sizable advantage here down through corner 3 and 4 on the speedways. We do see that caution flag fly. So stage number 2 gonna come to a close right there. Huge thank you to all of our drivers turning on the webcams here for us this evening, giving us a great look at all of them out there on the racetrack, rolling out there on the speedway. But stage number 2 is going to come to a close here, so gonna mix things up here once again. Now our final stage is upon us here. Stage 2 comes to an end. Matthew Wood going to pick up stage win number 2 here on the evening. Wood blinking a little bit right there. Hopefully Nothing too major for the 16 ride, as he was that close to putting the 29 of Chris Stage a lap down out there on the racetrack. So luckily enough for Chris Stage, he does not go a lap down out there on the track. It will keep himself on the lead lap. As see if we can get this number 16 ride up into the broadcast booth here. You gotta look there at the webcam here. Let's see if we can get Matthew Wood up into the booth here for a quick in-race interview here after picking up stage win number 1 and stage win number 2 here on the evening. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. Okay, let's pull Mr. Wood up and in here right now as he rolls out there on the speedway. Before his pit stop here, we'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yep.
Matthew, man, already picking up stage win number 1, stage win number 2 here. How do you tackle this final stage? You know that there's some pretty good fast drivers hanging here with you, where you kind of playing with them a little bit there in stage number 2, or maybe trying to just take your equipment a little bit easier there in that second stage, as we saw you open up a big lead in stage number 1, and then here in stage 2 you kind of had to work yourself back through them, try to work yourself through the traffic. We saw you blow the bus stop there on the restart lap with Brian Underwood spinning down through the inside of it. You went right down through it as well there, but you're able to keep yourself pointed in the right direction, keep that car rolling, and picking up this second stage, man. How do you go forward here? How do you tackle this final stage?
Oh no, there's something sticky on my wheel. Anyway, I don't know. My hands aren't hurting as bad as I thought they would, but from that wreck. But I don't know. It's going to be really close on fuel. I know that. So saving is going to be a big thing. But no, I just killed my tires trying to get around Noah. I made my way up through Brian and those guys, and to not, because I knew Brian was going to send it deep, and if I would have not blew the bus stop, I probably would have been wrecked and pretty well out right now. So, and then Noah, he just kind of, pushed me off and then hit me when I came back on. So that wasn't the funnest thing in the world. But no, I just killed my tires and Horvath saved them. So Horvath is going to be one to watch. I think, I don't know, because saving is not going to be quite like the first stage was, because the first stage you had to go around, and then around again, and then, yeah, so I know a couple people ran out, but no, I mean, the bus stop's tricky. Going side by side into it, it's tricky, because if you're on the inside, aka Brian or Noah, not only is there not any grip down there, and not as much, it's not rubbered in, but your braking point's all screwed up, plus you're trying to outbrake the guy on the outside. So it's a really tricky situation, and even when you're coming back on, you have that threat of being hit. So we'll just try not to do that again. But yeah, 16 to go, coming on 15. We might make it.
Yeah, now that's the big question here, is how much do you really got to save? How much does that cut your lap times down, trying to save fuel out here on the speedway, and what does that look like here going through these final 15, 14 laps before we go back to green flag racing?
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely drop the pace, but I mean, there's going to be guys pushing, there's going to be guys saving. It's going to be interesting. This is about the length that stage 1 kind of was in terms of, having to go around and around again. So coming to 15 to go, it'll be close, but I was determining whether to just do a one stop, but I don't think that's going to be an option.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun watching you guys duke it out here to the end. Good luck out there, Matthew. Give the crowd a wave here as you get pulled into your pit stall, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth before the end of the night.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the number 16 of Matthew Wood as he jumps up here into the broadcast booth here with us for a quick little in-race interview. A great look there and insight of what's kind of going through the mind there of that 16 ride of Matthew Wood out there on the racetrack. Now, we've heard from the 54 ride of Thomas Hovarth, and, you know, even Matthew said right there that he's going to be one of those drivers you're probably going to want to watch out there on the racetrack. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be able to navigate around the speedway here, as we did see the 69 ride of Jordan Crider not come down pit side. So I'm not sure what the strategy call is here for Jordan Crider, but he hasn't came down pit road, so maybe you're going to try to split this final stage up here for the 69 ride as Matthew Wood will restart to his outside. Noah Blackwell in third with Thomas Hovarth, Jordan Hand, Aiden Lucas, William Connolly, Brian Underwood, Ben Gleason, and Josh Crider are top 10 here on the speedway. So we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a couple more moments as we'll get ready to get a quick little word in here from our sponsors over at NJB Designs, where they paint champions out there, brothers, as they do some amazing paint schemes. A lot of the drivers out here in the field sporting the NJB Designs paint schemes, and they all look very, very fresh. So if you're on the market for a new iRacing paint scheme, make sure you guys go check out njbdesigns.com. As my boy Dude Guy coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. How are you, dude? Dude coming in, smashing the thumbs up over there on the Facebook channel, coming in, showing the love there, smashing the like on the stream. I appreciate that, my boy, coming in, showing the love here in this one, as we're going to take a quick look here at our sponsors at NJB Designs.
Revolutionize the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. At njbdesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designer has you covered. Imagine winning in a car that reflects your personality or promotes your business and style. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, and finishes to suit every taste and occasion. Why settle for ordinary when you can stand out from the crowd? Visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals bring your vision to life. Transform your car, transform your journey, and be a champion, and choose us.
Alrighty, shout out there once again to our sponsors over at NJB Designs, and a huge shout out to the rest of our sponsors as well: Phoenix Esports, AdminBoxx, and so many other amazing sponsors going on board. Lonnie Crider, and everyone just making this happen, everyone coming together to put this series on, to bring these drivers together, give them a place to race here on every Saturday evening for quite a lot of races here. We're already 5 races in, and we got about 20 races left to go here in this season, and I know these drivers are all, foaming at the mouth each and every single one of these races, ready to rock and roll. They love to be out here on the simulator and running with each other, man. A lot of good, hard, respectful racing out there on the speedway. Sometimes we can see a little bit of chaoticness, we can see a little bit of contact and battling, but it's just good, hard racing out there between these drivers, and we may see a little bit more of that late here from Daytona Road Course, as they will get stacked up and ready to go. As starting on the pole in the number 69 ride here on the restart, we'll start in that top spot. So the 69 of Jordan Crider, they're in the top position. Chris Stange there in second. Matthew Wood back in third. Noah Blackwell, Jordan Hand, Landon Burbage, Melvin Rangruer, Caden Gargiulo, Jonathan Gaston, William Conley, our top 10 here on the speedways. We did see some more drivers head down pit side here, get some extra fuel into their cars. Here they come, rolling back out here, as that is the 54 of Thomas Hovarth, the 6 of Brian Underwood, Aiden Lucas, Ben Gleason, Josh Crider, Ryan Haller, and a lot of other drivers came back down pit side, made sure they got their cars absolutely filled up here with fuel, making sure they got every single drop into their tanks here for this final stage, as it may come down to a little bit of a fuel strategy race late in this one. If that does become a factor where drivers have to start backing these cars up, start to run a little bit slower of lap times, it may open up the door for those drivers that came back down pit side, got that extra lap or two of fuel into their rides here, as that will possibly put them in position to kind of work themselves around the traffic, around some of the drivers that are trying to save. It may put them into the winner's circle here this evening. As we're going to get ready to see how it all plays out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump into a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So we're going to crank up that volume, and we're going to let you guys cheer these drivers on and give you a great look at the sights and sounds around the beautiful Daytona International Speedway Road Course here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as we will crank it up here on the restart. Let's see, we're going to jump right on board here with the number 54 Thomas Hovarth. We're going to jump on board with Hovarth here for this restart and see if he can work himself through the traffic and all of the action here that will unfold in front of him, and there's going to be a lot of action back there behind him as we crank it up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Raise up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver. Jump into the comments section. Let us know who you're cheering for and who you want to see up in victory lane here this evening, as these drivers ready to put on a show here for you and give you the sights and sounds here at Daytona. ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for all these drivers doing a great job during our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. These drivers making these cars sing out there on the speedways. You get a great look at the sights and sounds around the beautiful Daytona Road Course here in the Sunshine State, Daytona Beach, sunny Florida. Here for all these drivers to celebrate, have a little bit of fun here in the sun. I know a few of these drivers went down to the beach earlier today. They dipped their toes in the sand and they enjoyed some some good fresh air before coming in here and jumping into these race cars for a wild evening of racing action. So as much as the relaxation happened early in the evening down at the down at the beach, these drivers, they're out here on the speedway, and each and every one of them looking to try to put themselves into victory lane, but they got to try to figure out a way to get around this number 16 of Matthew Wood with only 9 laps left to go here, basically 8.5 laps now for the 16 rider Matthew Wood. He's out in front by about 5 seconds between himself and the number 1 ride of Jordan Hand. There in position number 2 is the NJB Designs Optic Gaming, the Optic Texas number 1 ride. There in second, Caden Gargiulo back up into third here. This has been a dogfight here for that third position. There's a bunch of drivers all tangled up right here, putting on a great show for us. You see the number 7 rider, Caden Gargiulo, is leading this little bit of a pack here. He's got Landon Burbage right there with him, as well as the 25 riders all over his back bumper. They get a little stacked up here through the bus stop, as that's the 25 of William Conley there in the 4th spot. The 2 rider Landon Burbridge right there as well. Thomas Hobart there in 6th. You see Brian Underwood there in 7th. Aiden Lucas right there in 8th with Ben Gleason. Just a couple car lengths back and outside of this fight as the 7 ride did not get a great launch here down through corner 1 and 2 on the super speedway. A little bit of contact with the outside fence for the 7 ride, and that will slide him all the way back here into the 9th position. So he goes from 3rd to 9th with the contact with the outside wall, and unfortunately for Gargiulo, he will slide all the way back here, quite a ways back for that number 7 ride. He'll have to try to pass all these drivers, and that's going to be a tall task, as there are some very fast cats right here in front of him, but he's looking to the outside of the 66 here. The Team No Luck Motorsports and number 66. You do see the 25 ride make a mistake right there at a corner number 4, and he's going to go side by side here with the 77 ride of Aiden Lucas. They think better of it as Aiden strolling there in the 8th, or actually 7th position on the speedway. That 7 ride working to his outside though. Connolly right there in front of him. Is now you see the 6 ride go for a loop-de-loop. That's Brian Underwood going around there through the corner. Unfortunately, now he is out of that fight. He will slide all the way back to position number 10. There goes the 5 ride now back into the 11th position for Brian Underwood, and he's going to lock him up and slide down here through the next corner, as well as the 88 ride of Dylan Carrier running into some issues right there as well. Josh Crider in the Scott Bloomquist inspired number 5 ride. The respect paid here for the 5 machine of Crider, showing the love and appreciation for Scott Bloomquist here this evening, and a memoriam to Mr. Bloomquist, who unfortunately passed away yesterday morning. And it's beautiful to see that car out there on the speedway looking fresh out there on the racetrack. Is out in front, the 16 rider Matthew Wood continues to stretch out his lead here. Wood actually started to put a little bit of a smackdown here on the rest of the field as he heads down through the first set of corners in the S's here. You see the number 1 ride just heading down into that first corner. He's about 11 seconds behind our race leader now. So Matthew Wood with a very, very comfortable lead right now. A lot of gap between himself and the 1 machine. Thomas Hobart a few seconds back behind the 1 right out there on the racetrack. So Hobart finally finds himself a way back up into 3rd here as William Conley goes up and around here as he went up way too high there in that 4th corner. Unfortunately, he was trying to get that car checked up and not get into the grass. The 7 rider, Caden Gargiulo, gets a piece of him right there, helps him go around. Gargiulo already some pretty good damage there on that 7 ride. See if we get another look at this one as these 2 drivers just come together here in the corner. He's going to go to the outside here, looking to try to make the move to the outside of that number 77 ride, and then there you see the contact between him and Conley, and Fortunately, 25 goes for a loop-de-loop, a little bit more damage for an already pretty beat-up number 7 right out there on the racetrack. One driver that'll love that is Aiden Lucas. Lucas now up inside the top 5 on the speedway for the first time here on the evening, as the Beyond Detailing 77 machine now up into the 5th spot on the speedway for the first time here on the day. Aiden finds himself inside the top 5. He's got a few more drivers right here in front of that he can try to hunt down and make some quick passes, maybe work himself up onto the podium here, as Landon Burbage right there in front of him. Thomas Hobart there as well in that 54 line, but Thomas starting to lay down some pretty good lap times here himself. They are hunting down the 1 ride of Jordan Hand in a quick hurry here. Hand unfortunately sliding backwards, and it's allowing our race leader of Matthew Wood to pull farther and farther away. He is currently out in front by almost 14 seconds between himself and our second place drivers. The last time by the start finish line for these drivers, Matthew Wood was the fastest car by over a second on the racetrack. Ran a 1:48.98, where everyone else is running in the 150, the minute 50 second bracket, minute 51, minute 53s out there on the speedway. Nobody else is in that underneath of the minute and 50 seconds. So for him to be the only driver, not only a minute 49, but a minute and 48 seconds, is absolutely insane. He is laying down some absolute heaters out there on the speedway, and I think it's going to take maybe a bit of a miracle for anyone else back there behind him to take this win away, as caution flags are not a normal thing here other than stage breaks for the NASCAR crew here at Daytona Road Course. Most of these cautions, or mostly incidences that we see out there on the racetrack, are, single or 2-car incidents. There's usually no need for a full course caution flag, and that's allowing Matthew Wood to just continue to run away with this. Now, we talked to him at the end of stage number 2. He talked about how fuel could become an issue here, but I don't think with the lap times that he's running, he's worried about fuel anymore on the racetrack. So they may have been taking a little easy early on, maybe saving the fuel that he needed there for the first, 5-10 laps of the green flag run here. But kind of over the last 5 laps or so, he has just been pulling away more and more and more, as this time down through the S is out in front by almost 16 seconds. So continues to put down, a second or better, 2-3 seconds better lap times than majority of the field back there behind him. So this one may be all she wrote for the rest of the field. They are hoping for a caution flag. They're hoping for something, some way or another, to catch up to the 16 ride and have an opportunity to maybe figure out a way to get around them. But right now, you can't really pass them when you're 16 seconds back there behind them, as the number 1 rider, Jordan Hand, rolls here in position number 2. He's got about a second and a bit here between himself and Thomas Hovarth. As Hovarth there in 3rd, and now Aiden Lucas up into position number 4 and looking for more. So Lucas there in the 77 ride. The Beyond Detailing machine looking fresh out there on the speedway, has made his move around Landon Burbage. So Burbage slides back to the 5th position, as here comes Ben Gleason reeling into him here, as well as Rusty Martin. My boy Rusty coming in showing the love, says, "Hey, Aaron, what's good, brother? What's good, Rusty? How are you, my dude?" Coming in showing the love here in this one. Hopefully you're having yourself a fantastic Saturday, Mr. Martin. Hopefully you're having yourself a fantastic day, as man, oh man, we've been having some fantastic racing here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys have been enjoying the racing action here this evening, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. And here you go, you see the 16 ride starting to blink out there on the speedway. Does the internet fail on the 16 ride? Who lives the closest to Matthew Wood, and who has access to a pair of, wire cutters or something? I think someone may be messing with this poor man's internet connection, and that would be a tough way to lose our race here at a road course out in front by over 17 seconds. having your internet become the reason you don't pick up the win here would be a heartbreaker for Matthew Wood. As Jordan Hand, I think he would absolutely love that. Thomas Hovarth, he may love that as well, as he's reeling in that one ride for position number 2. Aiden Lucas there in position number 4 and looking for more as Ben Gleason there in that 5th position. Landon Burbage back there in 6th. Caden Gargiulo there in 7th. William Conley back in 8th with Melvin Brent Brewer and Josh Crider rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Brian Underwood back there in 11th with Dylan Carrier there in 12th. Evan Stewart there in the 13th spot with the number 72 with Jonathan Gaston there in 14th. We see Chris Stange, Noah Blackwell, who's actually headed down pit side here for the 9 ride. So Blackwell is coming down pit road, as he's actually not going to make it to pit road. He's going to stop right before pit road, and I'm not sure if he's trying to pull a caution flag or what, but he's going to lose a couple more spots. As Stange, Jordan Crider, Ryan Haller right here ready to rock and roll and get around him, as Blackwell will take that car not off the racetrack yet, but we do see Farrell Robbins there in the 76, currently scored in the 19th position. The first car 1 lap down is Chris Getz there in 20th. Paul LaCourte back in 21st. Grant Applegate off the speedway in the 22nd spot for the 57 ride, as he's back in 22nd. We see Benjamin Romano out there on the racetrack, currently being scored in 23rd, and we see Jaden Porter and Trenton Johns rounding out the field here, as Noah Blackwell still down here blocking pit road. I'm not sure if he ran into issues or had some issues, as he was battling here with the 6th rider, Brian Underwood. It looks like they may have ran into some issues. He gets in very, very deep. The 6th ride does as well. They make contact into the safer barriers. Then he goes around and hard into the inside wall right there. The 37, as Stewart's going to get a piece of him as well. Pretty good contact there for the 9 ride, as Noah Blackwell, I'm not sure if he thinks maybe the 6th run got in there a little too deep, made contact with them. There really wasn't any contact. So they both kind of got in there a little deep. Unfortunately for the 9 ride, he just loses the rear end, trying to go back onto the racing surface. That concrete down there, very, very slick, and unfortunately heavy contact there for him. And then he runs into issues again here as well for that 9 ride, as the NJB Designs We Print Champions number 9 ride running into more issues down through, I believe this is corner number 6. The car just goes dead straight and stops there on the speedway as well. So Blackwell running into some issues out there on the racetrack, but no caution flag, unfortunately, for the number 9 ride. He's just stalled out there, and the pit road entry, no yellow on the speedway for him, as out in front by 18 seconds. The 16 rider, Matthew Wood, is going to roll around him here on the front straightaway, put him another lap down. And this time, by the start-finish line, we will see the Twin Sticks here from our flag man. So 2 more laps left to go here. 2 more laps for our race leader to try to pick up the checkered flag here on the evening. As Beyond Detailing says, looking for a podium tonight, baby. My boy Evan, let's get a top 10, son. Evan looking good out there as well. Evan currently scored in the 13th position there on the speedways. Aiden Lucas here in position number 4, trying to track down that 1 rider, Jordan Hand. Hand has now been passed by Thomas Hovarth, so Hovarth has worked himself around that 1 machine and up into 2nd here, but Matthew Wood out in front by 18.5 seconds. It's going to be almost impossible without something happening here to the 16 ride of Matthew Wood. Wood would have to make a catastrophic error out there on the speedway, get spun around, miss the bus stop. Something would have to go wrong here in the closing lap and a half for the 16 of Matthew Wood to really allow that gap to shrink to within striking distance, where Thomas Hovarth would have a shot at trying to get around him here on the evening. As Jordan Hand slides farther back here in that 3rd spot, you see the 77 of Aiden Lucas trying to track him down. Aiden really wants to put this Beyond Detailing 77 ride up and on the podium here this evening. The No Luck Motorsports 66 rider, Ben Gleason, right there ready to strike, as well as Landon Burbage back there in 6th. Caden Gargiulo William Conley, Josh Crider, and Melvin Brengruer are top 10 here on the speedways. You see a pair of those Scott Bloomquist-inspired rides out there on the racetrack battling here. Just inside the top 10 is Brian Underwood trying to reel them in as the Premium Stock Car Racing League number 6 ride. And on the outside of the top 10 looking in as down across the start-finish line, we see the white flag fly. So one more time around here for the 16 ride of Matthew Wood is Wood looking to pick up the checkered flag here on the evening. Has a huge advantage down through the S's down into corner number 4 here on the speedway. He is going to go in nice and easy. See some smoke here in front of him. That's one thing he'll have to be careful of. Lap traffic, he can kind of let stay in front of him here for the rest of this race. Not push the subject too much as he has an enormous lead here. A great advantage over the rest of the field, currently sitting at 19 seconds between himself and Thomas Hovarth. Is right there in front of him. That is the 87 ride of Chris Getz and the number 99 of Ryan Haller. Haller is the last car on the lead lap right now, so he's at risk of going a lap down, but hopefully he can stay in front of the 16 ride here for the second half of our final lap on the evening. Is down for the final time out of the infield session of the portion of the racetrack here. 16 will head through the Speedway Oval, corner 1 and 2, and down the back straightaway here at Daytona International Speedway. He's got a couple more corners left to go as he'll head down through the bus stop right here. Just going to make sure he hits his P's and Q's, doesn't make a mistake here, and he is going to hit his marks perfectly. He's the 99 through the grass right there. Unfortunately for Haller, he will go a lap down, but luckily enough for our race leader, moves down and out of the way for him to move around him pretty quickly. Is out in front for the final time through quarter number 3 and quarter number 4 here on the super speedway portion of the speedway. The 16 ride down through the tri-oval. It's Matthew Wood picking up the win here this evening with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as he will pull the Racers for Christ number 16 ride up into the Daytona International Speedway victory lane after a dominating win here in dominating fashion. Out in front, picking up the win there. Down across the line, you see Thomas Hovarth coming home in position number 2. Jordan Hand there in 3rd. Aiden Lucas only a little bit back there behind him. There in 4th with Ben Gleason, Landon Burbage, the 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo, William Conley, our top 8 on the racetrack. Here comes Brian Underwood here. Is Underwood going to come home in the 9th position? A good last lap there for the 6th ride as he comes home in 9th. Josh Crider in the Scott Bloomquist number 5 ride there in 10th. Dylan Carrier going to come home in 11th. Then you see the 84 of Melvin Brengruer there in 12th. Chris Strange going to head down across the line in 13th. Evan Stewart there in 14th. Jonathan Gaston in the 15th position with Jordan Crider. Headed down the back straightaway here. He is the last driver on the lead lap here on the evening. So the 69, nice and easy for the bus stop here, as we did see one driver send it in through the bus stop, having some fun after their race was already concluded. And that was what that noise was. That actually kind of scared me a little bit, gave me a little bit of a jump scare right there as we watched the 69 of Jordan Crider head back here and to the start-finish line. Here is the rubbered up number 69 machine. Will be the last car to finish off this race here on the lead lap. There is Jordan Crider down across the line. So finishing order is in position for our top 16 as Matthew Wood, though, picking up the win. Wood is going to get ready to burn it down here on the front straightaway after picking up a very, very solid win. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's see a round of applause and some congratulations up in the comment section right now for Mr. Wood picking up the win here this evening. Let's see some hashtag number 16s up in the chat right now, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag 16 up in the chat for this number 16 of Matthew Wood. What a run and what a drive for Matthew Wood. Wowzers, that was a heck of a run, heck of a performance here for him, and being able to park himself in victory lane by over 18 seconds. Dominating fashion here as he's going to get ready to burn down the house here at Daytona International Speedway. Give it up here for that 16 riders. We'll get ready to pull him in our top 3 up into the broadcast booth for some post-race interviews as he's going to burn it down here. He is absolutely pumped. He is excited to pick up the win here this evening. The Racers for Car Price Ride. I'm home with the win. Team RFC with the dub here this evening. We'll get ready to pull him up into the booth. I know Thomas Hovarth, Jordan Hand, both ready to jump up here into the broadcast booth, as well as Beyond Detailing coming in with the hashtag 16. Kurt Jensen coming in, says nice job, Orm? Nice job, Orm. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Who's Orm? Orm. I don't know. But definitely good race. Good, solid performance here by all these drivers. We didn't see a whole lot of contact, nothing malicious out there on the speedway. A lot of good door-to-door action. A little bit of elbows up, beating and banging out there on the speedway, but that is to, come as expected here with, such fierce competitors, such tight racing out there on the racetrack. Contact sometimes is just, it's inevitable out there on the racetrack to have a little bit of contact here and there, a little bit of controversy throughout a race, says Kurt. Says, nice job, Peacemaker. Thanks, I got you, brother. I appreciate you tuning in and showing the love here throughout the broadcast and enjoying the racing action here with us on the evening as we'll get ready to pull this 16 right up into the booth here for his post-race interview. I'll wait to see if we can get him up here. Let me see here. Where is he at? There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Matthew Wood as he picks up the win here this evening. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth once again. Do you got a copy?
Hello.
Matthew, man, what a run, what a race here, man. We talked to you there at the end of stage number 2. You had fuel kind of in the back of your mind here. It seemed like you were saving there for maybe the first 5-6 laps of that run, and then all of a sudden you just put the gear down and disappeared out there on the speedway and stretched out this big lead and put her on cruise control to head across the line as our race winner here this evening by over 18 seconds, man. Take us back through that final stage and what's going through your mind parking that 16 right back up here in victory lane.
I think what helped is that I was so focused I wasn't paying attention to this or my ribs. It was a big accident, I didn't know if I was going to be able to race this week, next week, for a couple weeks, but I thought I'd try it, and now that I'm not focusing and not in that kind of tunnel vision zone, I'm now feeling my thumb definitely, but no, I just knew that when it came down to tires and all that, I knew where I could save tires more than some people, and I used that to my advantage, and while doing that, I could save fuel. I was contemplating my decision of not pitting when everybody else did a lap later, but I had only apparently lost 0.1 or 0.1 or 2 with fuel, so nothing was really going through my mind other than the situation with Noah. Something, I don't know what happened, apparently. I had a heart attack because on the restart, he decided, I guess he missed the breaking point or tried to go for the lead, or I don't know. Killed Jordan, and then I hit him, and I don't know if I hit him or missed him, but I had a heart attack. And then apparently something else happened, and he parked it on the bottom of the racetrack, like almost to the inside wall. Said, I'm just going to wait to the white flag, I guess not to wreck anybody else. And then he got his chat permanently muted and then kicked. So I don't know what happened. I don't know. That's a situation for another day. But
absolutely, that's a decision for the admins and the owners there. As we saw Noah park down there on pit entry right there, and at least out of the way, but still within an unsafe distance off of the speedway for everyone kind of rolling through the tri-oval right there. But man, a great run and a strong performance here for you, man. And as you said, on that restart, the final restart here of the evening, it just looked like he got in there a little deep, kind of, you guys were battling for that top spot, trying to get the advantage up on one another, and it just looked like he tried to either take it 3 wide or just drove it in there a little too deep underneath the 69 and yourself, and got into the 69, which spun him around. Then he kind of went up the track to avoid the 69 spinning, and that's when you guys made a little contact. I don't even know if you made contact or not, but then he went around as well there. And yeah, definitely not the way either, Jordan or I'm sure Noah wanted that restart to go, but it definitely kind of, gave you a jolt right there. Maybe, woke you up a little bit more and, brought you back to life right there. But it gave you a great position as you were able to take that race lead back away. And, from that point on, just set her on cruise control and bring home a dub.
I see what happened now. He just, he tried to avoid me. He braked a little bit late, and then when he comes over, he realized that Jordan braked pretty early. I guess where he was out on old tires or whatever happened. But Jordan braked really early, and then Noah, to not hit him, went over to the right, and then when he turned in, he hit the grass, and just a very unfortunate situation, probably the worst situation. And I did hit him, took his rear bumper off, but no, yeah. But like I said, I just thank God that I'm okay. That's the only reason that I'm even walking. So I shouldn't be walking nonetheless alive. That's what an army medic said. So, yeah.
Yeah, brother, definitely a scary, scary thing when we read that chat message. Obviously, having your accident there, over the last couple of days, and trying to heal from that, and even just to show up here shows the strength and the resilience of yourself and the willpower brought by yourself and God above, and being able to have you out here on the racetrack and running with the guys and have some fun, maybe trying to take your mind off a little bit of the pain. Is I know you said that your thumb was pretty cut up and pretty busted up, but you said the rest of you felt pretty good. I know from experience when you get into four-wheeler accidents or dirt bike accidents or car crashes and stuff, the adrenaline is so high even for
Yeah.
a day or two that you feel like you're fine, and then all of a sudden it kind of just hits you like a bus, and you're sore all over the place. And to be jumping on the sim and racing 45 hard laps at not even an oval, at a road course where you're constantly shifting up and down, you're constantly working the throttle and brake and turning left and right, really tearing that thumb to apart and using a little bit more different muscles than what you would just rolling at like a super speedway like Daytona itself on the super speedway, or somewhere like Michigan or something, right? You're using a lot more of that body strength and upper body strength to kind of get around the racetrack. So kudos to you for being here for the first off, and thank God above that you're for the most part A-okay and still here with us and able to put on shows like you did here tonight.
Yeah. And by the way, it's funny. I got a perfect bruise right around my nipple. That just completely random. Bruised ribs all the way down the side. That's what I feel. And then I look down, I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. But no, this hand too. This hand's skinned all the way through here, and then I got two weird bruises on the inside of my thighs, so I don't know where that came from. But yeah, race last night at Pocono, that was a little bit rough, but no, just glad to be here.
Absolutely, brother. We're glad you're here as well, and we're glad to see you up here in victory lane. Man, who would you like to thank for such a strong run, strong performance here this evening?
Well, just my whole team, Landon, Jaden, all them, just they're good people. They're good people to be around. Just like to mention Josh. He's recovering from his prolonged back surgery. We've been waiting for it for a while, and found out that he had it, and from the most part, he's doing good. So I'm really happy to hear that. Just thank God above. And my grandpa actually might have COVID right now. The whole church has COVID, so we're not going tomorrow. Have school Friday, so kill me.
Yeah, COVID never fun, that is for certain. But man, a great run here this evening. Something for them to maybe go back and watch while they're sitting at home in quarantine, and being able to watch and see you put a whooping on the rest of the field here this evening as you pick up the win at Daytona Road Course here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Matthew, congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll see you back out here next Saturday, and maybe right back up here in the in the broadcast booth.
Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening and give the crowd a wave here as you're up on the webcam. for the rest of your night, brother.
See ya.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Matthew Wood, our race winner. As going to sticker right there, Jimmy 6 times coming in says, "Okay, Matthew, 5-minute cap, 5-minute cap. Listen, they all can take as much time as they want up here in the booth with me, okay, brother? We got all the time in the world for these guys to, shout out and talk and enjoy, their good runs on the evening. Come on now, Jimmy. Come on now. Hey, it's
Josh,
Kev.
at least I
Oh, my
mentioned
God.
you. I wished I said I was glad you were okay.
Exactly. See, he was thinking about you the whole time, brother. Alrighty, as there is Matthew Wood. He had to throw that in there. He knew it was Josh. He had to throw that in there. As Hayes Kemp says, started at 15th in the 99 machine. Could have done way better, but 16th it is. The 99 machine will get some luck at the next one, brother. Listen. I know an experience for myself. I hate road courses, so to be able to basically finish where you started at the end of the day, it's not really a net loss or a net gain right there. I mean, it was still a decent day. It could have been a whole lot worse. It could have been a whole lot better, but to be able to still bring it home in one piece, we did see it get tied up in a couple of incidents out there on the speedway, but being able to still roll out there and only going down a lap there late in the race down the back straightaway just past the bus stop. I mean, you probably could have been able to hold in front of the 16 right and probably stayed on the lead lap there for another lap, but you just pulled over there. A respectful move for our race leader, but not going down a lap out there. Still a good show and a good turnout there for the 99 crew. As we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher here, our second place driver, Thomas Hovarth. Hovarth waiting patiently here. Let's pull Thomas up into the broadcast booth. Here is the 54 machine waiting patiently here down pit side. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Thomas, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Thomas, brother, what a run and what a race here for you, man. We talked to you there after that first stage. The car was looking really good, looking really racy, but you had your work cut out for you here a little bit in this final stage. We had to watch you work yourself up through a lot of tough competition, a lot of great battling there for that third spot for quite a while as we saw you guys battling. Could throw a blanket over you guys for multiple laps between third to basically the 9th position. You guys were tied right there together, but you're finally able to break through up into that third spot, and then you chase down Jordan Hand and make that move for position number 2. And by the time you get around the one ride, and that number 16 was gone. He was in a whole different area code, unfortunately, by the time you got a little bit of clean air on the front of your nose.
Yeah, well, first of all, Matthew's super fast, so there's that. But I was looking there at the beginning of the stint at the fuel and was thinking maybe there was some kind of strategy there. If I topped up just before, started from the back, everyone else would have to come in, and if they hadn't saved enough. So that was the strategy. That's why you've seen a few of us go in and top up and then worked our way through. But I don't know if Matthew and seems like Jordan, the same thing, saved enough, or maybe the numbers just weren't the way they seemed to me. But anyway, happy I got back up to second anyways. We had a fast car, so yeah, all good.
Absolutely a fast car and still a great finish here, and to be able to come home in position number 2 and be able to avoid some of the the contact and some of the carnage that we saw out there. Drivers having a lot of issues. We saw a lot of cars missing corners, a lot of cars spinning out in these corners. As a little bit of fogginess that was out there seemed like it really made this racetrack pretty slick out there on the racetrack. Was that an issue you guys had to deal with here throughout this race with the fogginess and maybe the racetrack just being not taking as much heat as what we would normally see?
I don't know, that the vision was fine. The track felt good, honestly. It's probably was more just everyone around you. You have to be so careful, and who's good at road courses, who you can trust and lean on. And so, but then also there seemed to be some fluke incidents where people just locked it up and there was a crowd of us and basically went bowling, but somehow got through it all, just barely, felt like. And yeah, had some fun.
Absolutely, brother. That's all that matters at the end of the day. As long as you got out there, had some fun, and got a smile on your face after that checkered flag, win or lose, that's the main thing. Having fun out there on the simulator. Thomas, congrats on the second place run here this evening, man. Who'd you like to thank for such a great drive here this evening?
Thanks for Noah Blackwell. He made my paint there. It looks really good, I think. And just the boys setting up the league and yourself for broadcasting. And yeah, we go out there and do the best we can, try to make a show. And like you said, have some fun.
Absolutely, brother. Well, you guys put on a heck of a show here for us this evening. We can't wait to see you back in action next Saturday as you park yourself up here in P2 here tonight. Maybe one spot better next weekend and put yourself up there in victory lane.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see what we can do.
We look forward to it. Thomas, congrats on the second place run again, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you later.
Alrighty, Thomas Horvath coming home there in position number 2 here on the evening. What a run and what a drive there for that 54 ride. As Jimmy says, Horvath has such a sexy voice. It turns me off and on. It turns you off and on. What in the world kind of a sexy voice is that then? Then it's turning you off and on. It should only turn you one way, brother. It should only be turning you on. That's about it. Tell me how you downshift into first, Thomas. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. That sounds dirty when you say it in all capitals, Jimmy, 6 times, okay? That makes it sound way too graphic here for the people, okay? This is a PG program. Keep it under control, okay? Keep it under control. As we're going to get ready to pull our third place finisher up into the broadcast booth here, the number 1 ride of Jordan Hand, able to pull himself up here onto the podium here with a solid third place performance. Let's pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jordan, a pretty good run, a solid performance here for you on the day. You saw you pass a lot of cars, battling hard out there throughout the top 10 throughout this race, but there in that final run, you're able to kind of put the hammer down early on that restart after avoiding the incident down there in the first couple corners between the 9 and the 69 ride, and all of a sudden you come out of it in P2, you're right there with Matthew Wood trying to hang with him. Unfortunately, he kind of just started to pull away, and it seemed like maybe your car just started to fall off a little bit there late in that run, and you allowed, Thomas Hovarth, who had a very fast car here on the evening, to get around you, which, I mean, to be able to come home still in third with, Matthew Wood and Thomas Hovarth there in front of you is going to feel like a bit of a win here on the evening.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not a road course kind of guy, so the finish inside the top 5, that's a win in my book. But Horvath and Wood, they're just in a whole nother zip code when it comes to these road courses, so I gotta give them props. They're really good, man.
They are definitely really good, but we saw you kind of getting a little bit better and a little bit better throughout this race. We saw you battle in there with a lot of these drivers and having a lot of fun out there on the speedway, man. But we saw some contacts, some ups and downs for drivers here, and some different strategies being played, man. Take us back through this race and how you got yourself into that position to put yourself up here on the podium.
I mean, honestly, I treated it like a super speedway. As crazy as it sounds, man. I just wanted to dodge all the chaos. I was just trying to be patient. On the restarts, I think everybody was restarting, and at least the top half of the field was restarting in first. And I'd restart in second every time. I knew I'd probably hold up the line a little bit, but I was just kind of breaking early and just trying to take it easy, let everybody else destroy themselves. It kind of seemed like, and I knew I'd come out good on the other end, but. Just patience is key, man. A lot of these guys are really good. Look at the lap times tonight. The top 15 were all outside of the top 2 or 3, I'd say. We're all within 5-6 tenths. So I knew it was to be pretty close. So just basically take time and let everybody else take themselves out, and you'll usually finish with a pretty good finish.
Absolutely, no better way to get through the carnage and try to salvage a good day, then stay out of the trouble, stay out of all of the accidents that unfold around you. We saw quite a bit here as drivers were looping around, maybe just missing their braking points or anything else. This is so hard to stay focused this whole race. How do you kind of keep yourself focused and locked in here for 45 laps around this racetrack, knowing that there's a lot of time, a lot of racing, and it's a lot of hard work. I mean, people think, for the most part, NASCAR drivers, they only turn left, but here tonight, you get to turn left and right. Maybe not a road course that you're really used to or, completely memorized every corner. So you really got to be on your tippy toes lap after lap out there on the racetrack. And how do you stay focused going through all that and going through traffic, some of those drivers that you're battling with inside the top 10 or even some of the lap traffic that kind of came into play?
I mean, honestly, man, I just focus on my own car. In practice, you get behind somebody, it's really easy to overdrive because you get focused on the bumper. I mean, so you just kind of have to zone out and just run your own line and focus on your braking points. And I will say that the 2 stages, cautions really help kind of reset yourself, stretch the legs a little bit underneath the caution. So thankful for that. But yeah, man, you just got to run your own race and just take care of your own. And I got a lot of faith in a lot of the drivers out here in our league, in the PSCRL. They're talented as all get out. So I know they're going to race clean around. I know we had a couple incidents tonight, but for the most part, man, these guys are great drivers. And you just got to have trust in them. And I hope they feel the same way about me. So that's you can stay focused when you don't have to worry so much with the people around you, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, and we don't have to worry too much about what's coming behind you, what type of attack or defense you got to plan for throughout each and every one of these corners. But Jordan, you do it perfectly here this evening, coming home in position number 3, parking that one right up here on the podium. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here on the evening?
I want to shout out my wife, man. She's amazing. She went back they started school today, or this past week, excuse me, and she gave me she allowed me to practice because, like I said, I'm not a road course guy, so I appreciate her watching the kids and let me practice a little bit. But other than that, I just want to shout out everybody in the league. Shout out you for a great broadcast, and I don't know, we just look forward to next week. I think we go to Charlotte next week, so it should be a good one.
Absolutely, should be a great race. We can't wait to see you guys back in action. Jordan, congratulations again on the 3rd place run, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next week, and maybe a couple spots better and up here in victory lane yourself.
Hey, absolutely. I gotta be honest with you. I didn't expect our first interview to be at a road course, so that was not on my bingo cards. I'll take it.
Absolutely, brother. Take them as you can get them out here. There's so many good cars out there, such good competition that sometimes, you just got to take what you can get. And I'm sure, maybe a little bit of momentum being built here for you and maybe more and more trips here over the future for the one right up here into the booth.
Amen, brother. Appreciate it. Take it easy.
You as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, our 3rd place driver coming home there in that 3rd spot. Jordan Hand with a great run and a great drive there for the one ride. Huge shout out to the 77 of Aiden Lucas, also coming home there in position number 4. A great run for Aiden on the evening as he was the hard charger on the day, picking up 15 spots from where he started in the Beyond Detailing number 77 ride, up 15 positions. Started back in 19th, able to come home in position number 4, and he was within half a second of Jordan Hand. And if he had maybe a lap or 2 left, he might have been able to work himself up onto the podium here this evening as well. So great run there for Aiden Lucas. Huge run as well for Ben Gleason. We saw Ben unfortunately run into some difficult races over the last, the first 3 races of this season. He hasn't really had any luck, hence the team of No Luck Motorsports, but Ben has definitely had some tough luck here over the first few races, so good to see him being able to finish this one off, come home with a solid top 5 run right there, and parking the 66 ride up inside the top 5 is, man, a great run, a great race by each and every one of these drivers, man. Can't thank all of them for tuning in and all of them coming in, showing the love, and all the drivers hopping in here and putting on a show for us, man, right from the drop of the green flag right down to the checkered flag. These guys put on an absolutely amazing race, man. The action was non-stop out there on the speedway, and we can't thank them enough for coming in and showing the support for the league and having some fun here. And a lot of guys, a lot of drivers, they don't like the road courses. A lot of guys won't even show up when it comes to road courses, but I mean, being able to still have 25 of these tough competitors show up and show out here this evening means a lot, not only to me, but I know to the entire league and all the league owners, all the league sponsors, man. They appreciate all the hard work and dedication that these competitors put in here week after week after week, and their hard work and dedication does not go unnoticed here. So huge thank you to all of them, and huge thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and watching the broadcast as well. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, man. Any of the new followers or subscribers over on YouTube, I appreciate each and every one of you, and any of those new followers or subscribers, I welcome you to the Peacemaker family here on the evening as a great run and a great race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League here this evening, man. These guys put on a heck of a show here for us, man, and I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in and showing the love here on the evening. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here tonight. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Revolutionize the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. At NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designer has you covered. Imagine winning in a car that reflects your personality or promotes your business and style. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, and finishes to suit every taste and occasion. Why settle for ordinary when you can stand out from the crowd? Visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals bring your vision to life. Transform your car, transform your journey, and be a champion, and choose us.